Hey everybody, and welcome back to E4. My name is Sue and I am from OML Embroidery, and today we're going to talk about stitches and knowing your stitches. So let's go over them. We've gone through a lot of the tools and different things that we can do in E4, and today we're going to talk about stitches because wow, there's a lot of them right here. There's a ton of things to do. So part of getting to know your way around inside E4 is to know your stitches, which is awesome. So let's start with this one. Now, this one is column A. Now, these ones are all for satin stitches. So everyone should remember that E4 is a lot more complicated. So we don't just have satin stitches. We have different ways of making the satin stitches. So we gotta do it that way. So this one is like a column stitch. You can right click, but it's the one with the side to side motion, if you remember that from other software. These lines in between here are going to indicate your angles. So when you're doing it from side to side so you don't get mixed up, this tells you the top. So you click on the top and see how it connects it. So you know this is the bottom, and that's the trick to them, and that's the trick to figuring out. If you were to go like here, you're going to make a cross, and you can tell even before you click that that's not right. So let's go backspace and do it. Now, of course, it's going to be really wide because satin stitches really, you know, that's way too wide for it, but we can change it to tatami. It's pretty good, but that is A. So this one is column C. I'll come back to B in a minute. I don't want to get everyone confused. So this one is, you know, simple. This is how you do this column stitch. Now you can't vary anything on it. It's basically an outline. You can go here to your nodes and you can go in and you can change the width here like this just by pulling it out. Now we don't want it too big. You can also change everything over here. These are all of your object properties. So if you want to change something to a specific amount, then you can change it. You can move your nodes around. There's not much more you can do with it though, because this is just a basic column stitch. You can change your corners as well on it, so it does a better corner. So round sharp corners, when you click on that, there's a whole bunch of different things you can do, but basically it's just a thick line, and that's what you want to do. So let's go back to our select, and that works. Let's see what's next. So complex fill, so that is a fill setting. So you just outline, it's closed, and hit enter, and you can pick everything beforehand so you don't keep doing what I'm doing, but I'm just out of rhythm. So for this one, let me go back. I just did that too quickly. What you're doing is adding the angle lines to it. Now when you click enter, you see how it changed. Now obviously this is satin stitch, so it's not going to be the greatest on that one. So undo, and I undid everything. So let's do that again. Why don't we? Let's do just a tatami, and I forgot to select it again, but that's okay. We're just going over our stitches. So let's do that right now, and we will make it. You can do it, I guess it would show up pretty well, but let's go and put our angles, and let's make them outrageous so you can really see them. And I'm just left clicking to place them on, and this is how you get more effects with just plain fill stitches. Yep, you can see them quite nicely. Isn't that neat? Let's change it to satin raised. No, tatami doesn't show up quite as well, but you can see where I've added the angle line. So that one's cool. That one just makes it really neat. Now this one is a star, and it's left click and you're dragging it out, and then I'm just going to hit enter so I have a perfect circle. Does not look cool. Let's try it again. So click, pull it out, and then click again, and let's see, we want to change the shape, make it a little bit longer. Click, and enter. That is a really neat stitch. I really like it. This one, I think they use it a lot for eyes because it kind of makes it pretty spectacular for eyes. So I'm liking that one. So that's that one. And this one is probably my favorite. This is the biggest time saver around, and I use it literally all the time. It is a ring. So pull it out and let go. Click again. Now, if you want to make it oval, that's how you do it. But let's just kind of make it right there. Click. And then this is your inside. It has to be inside your first one. And we can change that. How about just make it like this? Click, and again, you can make it oval. See, that makes a nice sideways O. And click enter, and there you go. All in one shot, you have a ring. So you don't have to do the circle and then cut the hole. You do it all in one piece. And literally, I use it all the time. I think that is fantastic. One of my favorite things to do. So I use it all the time. Super, super handy. Okay, let's go back to column B. It's a really cool stitch. It's just a little more complicated, so I thought I'd save it for last, just for fun. So let's go on column B. Now, this one is for satin stitches that are, you know, different on each side. This is the same on each side. The other one is curved and around. This is for something completely different. And there's a couple steps to be able to make it. So we're going to start on the left and we're going to click. Let's just make a zigzag kind of thing. You can also right click on it to make lovely curves like this. When you get to the end of what you want to do, you need to hit the space bar. And you get this elasticy, stretchy thing, and you want to place 2 points for the end. So let's do it maybe like this and make a diamond, and then right here, and then you can press enter. And you can make some pretty wild shapes like that, and I think it's really cool. You have to practice maybe a little bit to use it, but you have to remember to do the space bar in between there, and that makes it worthwhile. So it's really cool. I kind of like it. I took that off for no reason. There we go. There we go. So you can change that, of course, to tatami, and you can see I'm doing it quite large, but you can see how that works. So that will save you a lot of time and trouble for doing different things. So my favorite out of all these is probably that one. Of course, you use the column stitch all the time, but you know, you can use motifs, you can change everything around, and it's pretty fantastic. So if you have a design like this, you can go ahead and change everything about it pretty much. You can change it to all back stitch just by a click. Now it's not going to fill it in because a back stitch is a single stitch like a running stitch. Change it to stem stitch. You can slap on a motif, which actually looks kind of cool. And satin, you can make it satin, just plain satin. Satin raised is a lot. We're not going to do that. Zigzag is right there. The E-stitch and tatami, which is like the satin, but it's filled with tatami. Program split is not going to show up, so I'm not going to do it. Let's do square. You know, still kind of cool. Kind of cool. Contour, not really going to do it, but it's just a click. And if you decide, you know, hey, I want this filled, then fill it. Now, it filled everything, but that's okay because I look over here and I can see it filled the circle in. But if we want to cut it out again, we can. So for now, we'll just leave it and kind of look at what it does. So remember that if you have it as a ring and you go to fill it in again, then that's going to happen. The way around it is, let's get our ring here, and I'll just do one. Whoops, not that big. I'll just do one quickly, just kind of like this and like this. It's so easy to do. When you have it as a filled shape, then you can go ahead and change the fill on it. And actually, that one's kind of neat. You can change the fill on it and nothing will happen to it. That I like. That's the square setting. Look, just a couple clicks and that's a pretty groovy effect just simply like that. Double square, I didn't think that would look good, but it's not bad. You would just make sure that this is the underlay and the travel stitches. Program fill, we know that's gonna work. Motif fill, we also know that's gonna work. And cross stitch. I'm not 100% sure about cross stitch, but that seems to me it looks pretty good. And there's more. Contour. Look at that in one click. I think that looks amazing. Stipple stitch, it's pretty small for that. Stipple back stitch just changes it into a back stitch. And stipple stem stitch, which is even more. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So that's how you can quickly use some of your stitches here inside Wilcom E4. Now we have tons of things to go over, but that is just the basics to get you started on what all these are. And you have to make sure you use them because they are awesome. Absolutely. You will find a use for every single one of these, and you can flip back and forth and you can do your thing, but you can see how easy it is to do. My favorite on this one was the contour. I think that is fantastic. Now, did you notice when I slid it over, you can still see there's a hole, but it's not going to contour the hole. So isn't that fantastic? So learn your stitches, experiment a little bit with them. If you get caught out and your holes get filled, just do it again. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.